MacVoices is supported by Smile, the makers of world-class software like Text Expander. Find out about all their great utilities at smilesoftware.com. MacVoices is at CES in Las Vegas. I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, I'm in the PowerVision Robot Company booth talking to Sage about some very unusual drones, I guess is the best way to categorize them. Sage, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, Chuck.
So tell me about everything that's here, because I hesitate to say it, but in walking the show floor so far, I haven't seen anything like a lot of your gear.
Thank you. Well, one of our key items is not to just make your stereotypical drone that so many companies before us have made, but be innovative. Make a flying egg, make it easy to use, or with the product we have in front of us at the moment, pioneer a whole new area. We've been into outer space, we fly in the skies with drones, we roam the land, but how much do we know about the sea and what's underneath it? And how accessible is under the water to everyday person out there? Not just your occasional scuba diver, but you and me taking my wife and my little baby daughter out. She wants to see the little fishies. Well, how is my daughter at 18 months gonna see those little fishies? She is gonna ask her dad to grab this power array right here, and dad's gonna navigate it under the water and throw some VR goggles on his daughter. So she's looking in here and going, oh wow, those are cool fish, coral, or since I live in Seattle and Lake Washington, oh, that's a tire and some seaweed, being real. But it really opens up an underwater world to many people. And not only that, there's thinking about using our sonar for finding fish and plugging it in the bottom here and going and creating a map of where all the fish are for fishing. Or, as we're finding so many of our users are doing, they're buying this and say, hey, tourism is for down in Mexico, the Caribbean, and so on. I'm gonna inspect some piers, some pipes. I'm gonna go, before I issue the insurance policy, I'm gonna go look at the waterfront of that house pre and post policy issuance. Or I'm gonna go inspect my lobster traps or crab traps and not have to pull them up. And even more, oyster beds. Go maintain them, how the seed pearls doing. There's a lot of applications you can see, from family tourism to heavy commercial applications where you don't have to schedule your divers, you're not having to pay the hourly rates. It's becoming just like an aerial drone, a very powerful business tool, because it's inexpensive at a little under $2,000 versus $8,000 to $100,000 for most underwater. It's easy to use, setup time for experience is 5 minutes, for a new user 10, and it's not gonna break. This shell isn't waterproof. You can crack it against rocks, you can have a shark bite into it. It's just waterproofed electronics in here, operating on a cable. It's not gonna go home to Shenzhen where we make them with the rest of world-class electronics. It's all right there. And talking about the cable.
Yeah, this is a fly-by-wire system.
Fly-by-wire. Radio waves don't work too well underwater. Even the US military struggles a little bit with that fact. So we have it on a nice floating cable for 1080p video transmittal and control. This reel to keep it neat and tidy, as you can see. And then you can control it by phone if you want, but I think most of us prefer a solid RC controller in hand, holding our tablet or phone to easily navigate underwater. And the possibilities are endless, whether it's commercial or personal tourism in my local lake, just a heck of a lot of fun.
I want to make sure, you just said your local lake, so this is both fresh and salt water compatible.
Correct, both fresh and salt water. Talking about that, this is built to live and last and work well. This is not a toy, even though it's relatively speaking a toy price. I mean, $2,000, that's relative terms. 3 props all are stainless steel CNC'd out of a solid block. So salt water, lake water, whatever it is, the whole thing's fine. You just want to rinse it off after salt water, as you do. And the main things that can go wrong, get some seaweed in here or some stones if you're cruising the bottom. But with stainless steel props, just go poke them out and clean up and go along your way. It's made to be, how about this, when you put nice consumer electronics in a consumer's hands, you get a lot of people that do crazy things with it. This is made to survive all the various things people will try, and there's been a lot attempted already.
I love the sleek design. I mean, it looks like something that it stopped me, that I want to go and play with.
Absolutely. I mean, this looks like a manta ray. When we launched it at the San Francisco Aquarium, there was some rays in the tank next to it, and it's an intentional but very noticeable resemblance. It's be fun to have in your backyard swimming pool or along the beach with you.
Now you see, this is about 2,000.
Ranges between $1,488 and $1,888, so $1,500 to $1,900. $1,900 gives you everything: a 200-foot tether cable, a awesome carry-on case that's very durable, particularly for the business users, your fish finder that comes with it, your VR goggles. The 1,500 is more of an explorer. It only, Chuck, comes with a 4K camera, the 2.5-hour battery life, the tether, the controller, the case, just not the VR goggles and the fish finder, which you can always buy afterwards from us if you choose you want those extra pieces.
So this is this device, but you're showing some other interesting things as well.
Yes, so this device is shipping. Anyone can come buy it from any of our partners or on our website. But what's coming now in the late spring is our on the surface of the water marine drone, bringing some capabilities that GPS doesn't work underwater with this because of radio waves we're talking about, but on the surface, we have the Power Dolphin. Also 2 hours of swimming time, a user removable battery. It swims faster than your record-holding Olympic swimmer. It can tow with the payload up to 8 pounds of, say, a life-saving buoy, or maybe, I don't know, picnic lunch out to your surfer in the water, or whatever your needs are. Those same great stainless steel props, fishing sonar underneath, and we have a 4K camera here that if I could robotically operate it with my app in my hand, you'd see how it can look up above, say, to look at the sky or map the shoreline, or it can look down into the water all while you're on shore or your boat and look into the water what's going underneath at the fishies or whatnot. So between this to map the shoreline, this with sonar to map the lake or ocean bed, you start to look at a lot of possibilities outside of just fishing and tourism. But the fact it goes so fast, it's a lot of fun to race on the water, let me tell you. Just badass if you'd like to know my thoughts.
I bet. And I have to point out, somebody thought to put some blue LEDs in here, which just makes it look cool.
I can't but absolutely agree with you. Our designers have a lot of fun building a product that not only functions, but looks awesome. And I mean, that's part of it. You're going to shell out some good money for something. You really want to say, hey, I've got a sexy hot drone on my hands, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. This also, forgive me now, but this is fly-by-wire or not? Because it's on the surface.
This is wireless control, just like an aerial drone. The main difference is whereas you could say get 5 to 8 miles in the air, because the curvature of the earth and land, you get more like a half mile plus with this, just because you're going right along the surface of the earth.
All right, this is a practical question.
Yep.
If something happens, if this runs out of battery or whatever, how do I retrieve it? Anything there?
You have GPS come home functions. You'll get a warning when your battery life's going down, and you can always ignore that and strand it out there, but you're given all the fair warnings, and then it'll just kick in and come back.
Perfect. Very, very cool. I like that one. I love this one.
A common approach, because in many ways the Ray is very practical, brings a lot of use. This has a lot of the sheer just fun elements to it, right?
Well, I also find it intriguing the way that you're sort of blurring the line between the fun part and the useful part, because they both have functions that can be arguably categorized either way.
I was going to pop up the antennas here, but clearly my fingernails got trimmed before CES too well.
Okay. Those flip up as antennas.
Yeah, the antennas flip up so that they stand slightly. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. So they stand slightly high to get that optimal radio reception. And it's also, when we talk about autonomous, you can program waypoints on it, so it can perform the same mission, do a mapping, or survey the same area to inspect your oyster beds or your boats or whatever it is.
Okay, so that's two. We got one more, and that is the flying egg.
The flying egg. I hopefully have a dozen of them over just this way to show you.
Let's go. So this is the flying egg.
This is the flying egg, and this is in its folded up, highly compact position. And then when you crack the egg, you start by exposing a compact 3-axis gimbal camera. And then to achieve what we have here in a fully unfolded state, I will lift out the arms one by one. And then if I turn this on, the legs operate on motors and fold down to come to completely to this folded down state. And then it flies like any other world-class drone. You're going to use a RC controller. You can put your tablet and or phone on it, and it's going to fly very stably in the wind. It goes very fast, actually quite a bit faster than other leading drones out there. We had a little racing on the beach at one point, and that was a lot of fun because it's got nice long arms and a lower center of gravity because of the elongated view. It actually is it's more stable in the air than you'd ever expect of almost any drone. And this compact 4K camera that's 12 megapixel can do 360-degree videos, so rotate fully around without you having to rotate the drone, which can be very powerful because really today a drone for $1,100 doing that is unheard of because you have to almost go to an Inspire drone to get 360-degree. So here you're talking about a compact egg flying and giving you great video and great flying experience.
Now, is this another one of these where obviously it's cool and it performs well as a drone. Does it have practical applications other than the usual practical applications for a drone?
No additional ones beyond amazing flying photos and video.
But this is one that if you take this to the beach, you're going to get everybody's attention. There's no question.
Get everyone's attention in local ball field, the beach, flying over my backyard and not peering at my neighbors and so on. It grabs everyone's eyes everywhere just because it's not your standard X-style drone. This is completely different, unique, and then when people realize it actually performs amazingly well, they go, holy cow, I can have something of my own that no one else has, besides, well, other Power Egg owners, obviously, and I get the great photos and videos.
And this is shipping now?
This is shipping, been shipping for about 6 months. Buy it pretty much anywhere great drones are sold.
Excellent, excellent, very cool. I will make sure there's some footage of it flying and doing its thing because it is fun to watch. It's very compelling. And I think you're going to be responsible for a lot of UFO sightings.
Awesome. I could only fantasize about that.
The website where folks go to get more details about all of this because it's a lot of cool products.
So we're a PowerVision robot company, and you can find us on powervision.me, that is .me.
Excellent, excellent. Sage, thank you very much. Great product lineup.
Thank you, Chuck.
Folks, we'll have more from CES in Las Vegas. I'm Chuck Joyner. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our MacVoices Facebook group and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices magazine, free on Flipboard. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us at patreon.com/MacVoices and join these folks who help keep MacVoices coming to you. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CashFly at cashfly.com.